Hello and welcome to my channel. Today's video is going to be about childhood trauma and how that can actually follow you through into adult life, and why it's so important to process and heal what you've been through so that it doesn't show up in these or other ways and you're limiting the damage then. If you don't already know me, I'm Ayodele, creator of the EMC Squared Personal Mastery Transformation Programme with a background in psychiatry, psychology, sociology, neuroscience, neurolinguistic programming, hypnotherapy, and so much more. Please do subscribe to my channel, turn the notifications on and like the video if you like it, and I'm going to share with you 7 ways that childhood trauma can impact on your adult life. Now I do want to start by saying that trauma, whether it happened in childhood or adulthood, overcoming that trauma is really heroic. It's no small task. Now what happened to you isn't your fault, and it can have really long-lasting impacts on you. And trauma can take on many different forms, whether it's verbal, physical, sexual, neglect, bullying, poverty, withdrawing and withholding affection. And it can also impact on people in different ways. So what one person experiences as traumatic may not be traumatic to another person, and vice versa. What I am going to do is, in the description below this video, I'm going to leave some links to some crisis lines that you can contact if you need to speak to somebody urgently following watching this video. So these are some of the ways that childhood trauma can follow you into adult life and impact on you. Number 1 is cripplingly negative self-talk. Now the things that you went through, the experiences that you've been through, become ingrained and they can become part of your psyche. They become programmed to believe, especially if you've heard mean and nasty things said to yourself by other people enough times. You can become programmed to believe those things about yourself. You might believe that you're not good enough, you're not worthy, and you actually start to replay these words to yourself at an unconscious level without even realising that it's happening. Number 2 is you struggle to communicate your feelings. If emotions like anger were frequently displayed in the home that you grew up in, you may become fearful of this and fearful of actually expressing your emotions and sharing with people how you're feeling. You can also begin to, repress those emotions, repress your feelings, not talk about your feelings, not talk about your needs, because as a child, it was learnt behaviour. It was not okay to share. It was not okay to talk about how you felt. It was not okay to have needs and have wants. So you suppress those, and it's learned behaviour that becomes ingrained in who you are as an adult. So you're less able to form relationships with people because you don't know how to talk about your needs and talk about your feelings. Number 3 is that you don't have much of a memory about your childhood, or maybe you don't have any memory at all. There are various parts of the brain that are responsible for repressing memories, experiences that you went through that were painful or traumatic. I'm not going to go into the science of it here. But there are various parts of the brain that do that for a number of different reasons. And so rather than having, clear memories about what you went through about your childhood, you may have flashbacks to certain events, or there may be lots of blank spaces where you can't quite fill in what happened. And I work with a number of clients who actually have no recollection of their entire childhood until we start to work through and uncover what they went through. And they're aware that the whole childhood wasn't painful or traumatic, but the specific events that were have had an impact on the other memories, but we're able to uncover some of those and cover what they went through. And this can have an impact on your ability to build bonds and build relationships with people, because rather than being able to share about your past, about the things that you've been through, there is no memory, or they're very blank or patchy memories about your experiences. So this makes it less easy to form bonds with people in relationships, in friendships. Number 4 is you find yourself in toxic and dysfunctional relationships. Now this is a big one. So if as a child warmth, affection, love, kindness and caring were not present in the family home, then healthy bonds, healthy relationship bonds are a completely foreign concept, which can lead to all different types of attachment problem. And one of these is the anxious avoidant attachment style, where you seek out, you want to be emotionally close to somebody, but you find it less easy to trust and depend on people. It can also take on the form of actually unconsciously seeking out dysfunctional and toxic relationships at an unconscious level without being consciously aware of what you're doing, because it feels more familiar because of what you went through during your childhood. Number 5 is perhaps you avoid romantic relationships or relationships altogether, which is another big one. Perhaps you now believe, because of what you went through, that you're unlovable, that you're not worthy of love. Or it can also have the effect on you that you just don't feel like you can trust people. You withdraw, you just don't feel like vulnerability is a possibility, because the people that you were once vulnerable with, the people that you once trusted, have let you down and hurt you so much in the past. Number 6 is another huge one. I think these are all just huge, but it's a disruption to your emotional regulation. Now, let's be honest, trauma can significantly affect your mental well-being and your mental health. So you may experience feeling too much, which can lead to, diagnoses of depression and, all the other possible diagnoses that could lead to. It could also go the other way, where you feel nothing at all and you just spend, your entire life feeling completely numb, because you haven't allowed yourself to feel, because you've suppressed that part of yourself because of the experiences that you've been through. Mental health is a massive, massive effect, or lack of mental health, poor mental health. It's a massive impact or massive effect of trauma in childhood. And number 7 is that you don't really know who you are. If you experience childhood trauma, your identity is less easy to pin down and you can feel disconnected from who you are. The crucial age range for the formation of our identity takes place between the ages of 0 and 7. So if you experience trauma in that age range, the impact on you and your understanding of yourself is likely to be profound. So if you are an entrepreneur or want to be an entrepreneur, change maker, and go out there and do amazing work in the world, here as a bonus are some of the ways that this could be showing up in your life. So it could be a fear of being seen, fear of visibility, not wanting to actually put yourself out there, and instead you just sit on the sidelines watching other people do the work and watching other people make amazing change in the world, but knowing all the while that you've got gifts to offer, that there are ways that you could be out there helping other people, but you prefer to sit back and watch, or there is a part of you that prefers to sit back and watch others because there is a fear of visibility, a fear of actually putting yourself out there. Also people pleasing, which is learnt behaviour. So you constantly put other people's needs before yours and make other people's needs more important than yours. And this can also lead to not speaking your truth, not stepping into your power, not enforcing your boundaries, being taken advantage of. And also low self-esteem. The number of people that I work with, number of clients that I work with that are actually out there doing amazing work in the world, and they've managed to find a way to do that still, but they come to work with me because they know that there's more that they can offer, there's more that they can do, but they have these limitations that are preventing them from actually doing that work, taking that work to the next level. They have cripplingly low self-esteem, and working through this stuff, working through the past, getting rid of the emotions that you've held on to, getting rid of the limitations that you've held on to, actually helps you and assists you in stepping into that version of yourself where you can just eliminate all of these things that are holding you back and just let you go forward and do the work that you're here to do. So I know that this has been pretty heavy going, lots of information coming at you, maybe lots of realizations that this sounds like you or somebody that you know, and if it does, I urge you to reach out for help and support. Other than all the information that I've given you, what I want you to take away from this is that it doesn't have to be like this. You can overcome these challenges, you can overcome the trauma that you went through, and you can truly heal from what hurt you. You can take your power back, and there are ways, step-by-step ways, that you can let go of the things that have hurt you and prevent them from continuing to have such a fundamental impact on your now, because nobody wants that. Right? So do reach out for help and support if it's something that you'd like to work through. And please also take a moment to share this with 3 people that you know need to hear it. I know that you know at least 3 people that also need to hear what I've shared today. So do share it, and I would love it if you would like the video, subscribe to my channel so that you can find out more about what I'll be sharing in the future. I think my next video is going to be about maybe 5 or 7 ways that you can actually overcome the challenges, overcome trauma that you've experienced in your life. So look out for that video for sure. And in the description below the video, like I said, I'll be leaving some links to some support lines that you can contact if you need to speak to somebody in an emergency. And also other ways that you can connect with me. Do connect with me on social media. My handle is ayodeleokolade.com. Sorry, ayodeleokolade. My email address is info@ayodeleokolade.com. And get in touch with me. Leave me a comment and I'll be sure to respond. Okay, that's all for today, and I hope this has been helpful. Bye for now.